Welcome and thank you for attending today's presentation of the Connecticut Earned Income Tax Credit webinar. This is our third and final for the 2024 tax season. My name is Mary Ann Sweet, and I've been a part of the Connecticut EITC team since 2014. Today we'll be discussing the Connecticut Earned Income Tax Credit, what it is, how it differs from the federal, and how Connecticut taxpayers can qualify for the Connecticut EITC. So for the 2024 tax year, the Connecticut Earned Income Tax Credit is 40% of the federal EITC that was claimed and allowed. And who qualifies for the Connecticut Earned Income Credit? Similar to the federal, you'll have to have valid Social Security numbers prior to the due date of the return. That includes your spouse and your children. If your child doesn't have a Social Security number, you may qualify for the EITC on your own. You must be a full year resident of Connecticut, meaning that you have been living in Connecticut as of January 1st through December 31st without having any break in that tax year. You must meet income limits, which are reported yearly in the publication, federal publication 596. And if you are married filing joint, you and your spouse must meet all the Connecticut EITC criteria. The Connecticut EITC review process requires that we are able to verify your earned income or self-employment income through bank statements, W-2s, 1099s, documents that would verify any income that you reported. Birth certificates are required for relationship, as children, in order to qualify, the children have to be related to you. We would ask that you provide letters to verify that the child resided with you in the tax year for over 6 months. And the proof of residency could be requested for utility bills, one stating that you were here January and another one in December. Once you file your tax return, you may be required to send in additional documents. Not all returns are, most returns are accepted as filed. We may need to verify some information and you may be required to provide this. So the documents, again, that are required would be a birth certificate to verify your relationship to the child. If your child is over 19, verification that they're a full-time student. If they're over 19 and not a full-time student, that they're permanently and totally disabled. You'll need to provide proof that these children had lived with you for over 6 months in the tax year. Verify your income and your residency. So when the documents are requested, please make sure that you go through the list, verify all the documents that are requested and provide them, because if they're going to review and they don't have enough information, you may be reduced or denied for lack of providing the documents requested. Some reasons that we reduce or deny a taxpayer's EITC is that we can't verify their self-employment. They're reporting just handwritten receipts, nothing to substantiate the income through business bank statements, any bank statement that would show income coming in for the reported earned income. The qualifying child did not meet residency test requirements, meaning that we couldn't verify with the documents provided that the child resided with you for over 6 months in the tax year. You did not verify that you were a full year resident. Connecticut requires full year residency, so if you're a part year resident moving into Connecticut, file the correct return as a part year resident, not as a full year resident. Part year residents are not eligible for the earned income tax credit, but the following year, if you're still in Connecticut, you can file your resident return and claim that credit. The taxpayer and qualifying children, so we couldn't verify the relationship. Sometimes somebody's living in the household, but they're not related to the child, they may claim the credit, but can't verify that relationship, so we wouldn't be able to allow the credit. And taxpayers can't be a dependent of another person. So your child files their own tax return, claiming their exemptions, and you claim them. Your child may have to amend their return to claim only their taxes withheld and not file their return and then file their return as if they were a dependent of another. So if you are reduced or denied for the credit, you're going to be getting a letter stating that we completed our review for that tax year and that we weren't able to provide either all of the credit or we allowed a partial credit. And again, the reasons would be listed as to why we would be reducing or denying, and also appellate rights would be given. So if we've made a mistake or you didn't provide enough documents, but you have them now, then you would be able to appeal. Randy will be going over how you would file the appeal process and also how to upload documents if you do receive a letter. And now I'll send you over to Randy, who's going to go through the MyConnect and explain how, if you do get a letter, how you would upload those documents. If you do get a reduction or a denial, how you would be able to appeal that to our MyConnect system. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Marianne. Hello, everyone. My name is Randy Hariprasad, and I work here at Connecticut Revenue Services. You heard all about the earned income tax credit, and now I'm going to show you the MyConnect system, how to get into MyConnect. We'll focus a little bit more, not so much on the return side, but we'll focus more on show you how to upload earned income tax documentation that's sent to us, sent to you, and to get into the system to retrieve those letter and the letter IDs and how to get them so you can get started by providing your documents. So as you can see on my page here, there's a few ways that you can get to MyConnect, and I'll show you real quick here how to get to MyConnect. So for example, you can simply go just to Google and type in Connecticut Revenue Services and click on the hyperlink, and that will bring you into the MyConnect homepage. What you can do as well, on the URL here, you can go to portal.ct.gov/DRS and type in that URL, and that will bring you to the Connecticut Revenue Services homepage. Under the most popular, there is a link there that says MyConnect File, Pay, and Register Taxes Online. Once you click on that link, that will bring you right into MyConnect, and as you can see on my page, on my screen here, this is the MyConnect homepage. All right, so before we get into MyConnect, I would want to touch base a little bit what we do offer on the MyConnect homepage. I know this is individual income tax, but let's say later on if you wanted to, get into a business or something and you need a Connecticut registration number, on this business panel right here, need a CT Connecticut registration number. This is the hyperlink where you will register your business. The individual income tax panel, this is very popular this time of year, where you can file an extension, you can make estimated payments, you can look up where's my refund, what's my 1099-G amount, and we'll talk a little bit more about these two hyperlinks later in the demo. This is for the earned income tax credit documents and the protest documents. We provide a view tax calculator. So for example, if I click on this calculator, there's a lot of calculators here to assist you. We have the property tax calculator, social security calculator, wage, and the income tax calculator to help you to prepare to file your income tax return on MyConnect. There's some additional resources for you. Just please check it out when you have time. There's a lot of tutorials in here, how to file a return, how to create a username and password, and all of that good stuff in here. All right, so we'll head back up here to the top of the page. Let's say if you're in the system and for some reason you created your username like a month or a week or a year later, 2 years later, and now you forget your username and password. There is a hyperlink in here that says click on forget username and password. So we make it easy for you. All you need to do is just click on that hyperlink, enter, let's say if you forget your username, you will enter your email address when you created the MyConnect profile, and then we will send you a username in your inbox, the email that you provided to us. Let's say if you forget your password, you will provide the username. So let's say that email address that drives the whole username logon. If you don't have that email address anymore, and it's very easy. You just go click on create a username, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'll cancel out of this, and then we'll come back and click on create a username. So for example, if you're first time user in here and you want to create a username, you click on create a username. If you, let's say if you don't have that email anymore and you have a new email address and you're not able to retrieve your username and password, you'll also click on create a username. All right, so here are some requirements for creating your username. Let me make that screen a little bigger there for you. And I'm going to go ahead and click next. Once I click next, I will select individual income tax. That's the one I'm doing, individual user. And the screen here, it asks me to enter my social. And then my last name. And then I'm going to go ahead and click next. If everything matches in our system, that's one step of verification. Now we're in the other step of verification. And I will go ahead and choose individual income tax. And it's going to ask me to enter your adjusted gross income reported on line 1 of form CT 1040 or the CT 1040 NRPY for the one of your most 3 recent tax returns. So I know that dollar amount from last year, so I'm just going to simply enter that here. And once that matches the system and I click next, I should able to get to the profile information where I need to create. I'm not going to go through with this because it's very, it's very easy to create a username and password. So I'll just leave it up to here. Please note of the right side, the password requirements on this page, and you fill out the username section, the security section, the password, and the security questions and all of that good stuff. And then you will able to log into MyConnect. All right, so I'm going to cancel out of here, and now we're going to go ahead and log into MyConnect. So I already created the username and password. I'll enter my username, and then I'll enter my password. Everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and click login. Once you log into MyConnect, this is what MyConnect looks like. Upper left side, you will see my name there display, first and last name, my address. On the right side here, they have welcome Randy. I want to touch base a little bit on the manage my profile. The manage my profile, this is when you can update your security questions. You can set the 2-step verification for extra layer of security on your account. That's when you set up either a text message or email or the authentication app. You can update your email address here or your phone number. Or your password in here. So I'm going to return back over to the summary screen. Before I get into the return or anything like that, I do want to touch base on the Action Center. The Action Center is very important for all of us. So for example, if you have a return that's 5 days coming up to file, we will send something in the Action Center to say, hey, Randy, you have a return that is going to be ready to file soon. Or if it passed due for 15 days, we will send you something in the Action Center to say you need to log in because it looks like your return is overdue. Any letters, any correspondence, everything will be in the Action Center. I'm going to jump right over to the More tab. In the More tab, there's a lot more to do here. You can manage payments and returns, search for prior submissions, taxpayer updates, manage names and address. This is very, very critical. The department do have your addresses. Before you start filing your returns, even on MyConnect, or if you're using a software or, like a preparer is doing your return, it's always make sure that your address is correct with them, because any information, like for example, the EITC, of course you want your refund quick as possible, so you don't want any delay. So make sure that your address is correct in the system before they submit any return, because if the department have to correspond for more information for you for the EITC, documents, that's when we will mail you something in the mail And then, of course, if you don't have the correct address, you're not going to be able to get that. And then you'll have to call us, and that's delay the process. So yes, manage names and addresses. You can go in there and update your name and addresses. Those are all done instantly, and you can see the updates right away. Under the correspondence panel, you can view letters, you can view messages, you can send a secure message with an attachment to the department. Request a status letter if you need a status letters to provide to anywhere, any company or anything like that, you can do so. For the view letter, so for example, I know we're talking about earned income tax credit here. So let's say if the department send me for more information, more that I need to provide some documentation to finish the process of my earned income tax credit. It gets to the mail, it takes between 5 to 7 days to get it in the mail. So I call up the department and I says, hey, is there any way I can able to get that letter ID? And I'll show you a little bit more once we log out from here, how to upload documents. I need my letter ID to upload these documents to the department. How do I get that faster? So this is when you create a username and password, you log into My Connect, you come under the correspondent panel, and then if you click on View Letters, you should able to locate any letters that the department send you under the View Letters hyperlink. All right, and there's over here again, where's my refund? What's my 1099-G amount? If you have a missing or stolen refund, you can submit a request here as well. So there's a lot more to do in My Connect. Please check it out when you have time. All right, so for example, over here, let's say if you wanted to amend the return, we do have that hyperlink, view file, returns, and view period details. And once you click on that, you can choose any of the period here. Scroll over to the right, view, amend, return, you can do so. If you want to file an extension, or you wanted to make a payment or request a payment plan, or you wanted to make estimated payment, all these links are available for you. Here's the return. We're not going to go into it, but I'll just drill into it real quick and show you. Looks like the due date is telling you that it's April 15 of 2025 for the tax year, December 31st of 2024. Once I click on the file now, this will bring me with a lot of more information to read up here. And the cool part is when you're filing the 1040 or the CT 1040 NRPY on My Connect, we do have a save draft feature. This save draft feature in the bottom of the screen here, let's say if you're working your way through the return and you don't have all the information, so you don't have all the wages and anything to, everything to enter at that time, don't worry, you're not losing anything. You click on the save draft feature. This save draft feature will save in the system for 30 business days. Once the end of 30 business days, we will send you an email in your inbox to say, hey, if you wanted to, continue with the filing, go in there. If you don't want to continue, you don't have to do anything. The system will automatically delete your return that you save as draft. So for now, we're just going to say continue editing instead of finish later. Once I click into the next screen, this is what the return looks like. You select your filing status. You can change your filing status. There's a lot of information already pre-pop in the system because we know who you are. And once I click next, you select your 1040, you select any form that you wanted to attach. And again, I'm going to focus more on the upload documents for you. So I just wanted to bring you here to show you a preview how the return looks like. This is where you enter your federal adjusted gross income. And on the right side, each scheduled on the return in My Connect, on the right side, we always provide a brief explanation, but if you need more detailed explanation on the different schedules, we do have a hyperlink that says return instruction booklets. Once you click on that hyperlink, it will bring you back over to the Connecticut Revenue Services page where you can get more information on those schedules. All right, so we are going to cancel out of here. And now I am going to log out from here and return back to the My Connect home screen. Once I'm on the home screen, we're going to come back now to the upload earned income tax credit documents. I do wanted to show you how it looks like. So let's say if you file your return, now you file for earned income tax credit, and this is when we review your earned income tax credit. If there is a need for it to provide additional documents, we will send you a letter in the mail. And this is when, if you want that letter faster, you just call the department, or you just log in and create a username and password, log in into MyConnect, go under the More tab under the correspondence panel, and you should be able to pull up that letter with that letter ID. Once you get that letter ID, for example, if I need to submit documents, I will click on this link here, upload earned income tax credit, EITC documents. And here's an example what the letter looks like. This is the letter we will send you. On the right side, the letter ID will locate here for you. It starts with a L. And I have an example here, so I'm just going to go ahead and enter that information here. 958-8832. Once I enter that letter ID correct, if the letter ID doesn't match the system, then you will get an error as well. If it matches the system and you click next, it will bring you to upload your documents. So let's say, for example, if you need to send your wage and your wage income, the proof of child, living within the year with you, copy of birth certificate, and you're scanning all the documents in one PDF document. Then what you do is you click on the little toggle bar here, and then you can just attach that one document with all the other documents scanned in there. But let's say if you're doing individual documents, you don't need to click on the toggle bar. You can just click add attachment and do one at a time. All right, so that's how you will submit your earned income tax credit to the department. Now I'm going to cancel out of here, and I'm going to return back over to file your earned income tax credit EITC protest letter. So let's say if you receive a denial letter from the department, you can submit a protest letter by on that letter. There's a letter ID. Again, if you need that letter ID faster, log into MyConnect, go under the correspondence, and you'll find it. And this is where an example on the protest letter, the denial notice, you will see it the same thing, upper right side, the letter ID will display there for you. All right, and I do have an example, and I will show you. L0009613513571. Once I click next, everything matching the system. Here again, this is where you need to attach your documents, and we will tell you what information is needed on this page. So, so this is how you will upload your earned income tax credit. You do not need to log in to upload documents. The two links are available here for you on the MyConnect homepage. All right, today I talk about the easy way how to get into MyConnect through Google, or just come to portal.ct.gov/DRS. Get into MyConnect and create a username and password for the first time. We touch base how you can look up where's my refund, what's my 1099-G, file extensions, make estimated payments, and how to file your returns by creating a username and password, forgetting a username and password, how to amend your returns, and how to, most importantly, how to update your address. Please make sure your address is updated in the system before submitting your return, because if we do have to correspond with you, or even we do have to send your refund by paper check, we wanted to make sure that we have the correct address. And of course, you want your refund faster. So that's all I have to share with you today, and thank you for listening. Over to you, Kelly.
All right. Thank you very much, Randy. Good morning, everybody. My name is Kelly McLaughlin, and today I'm going to give you a quick tour of our newly renovated DRS Taxpayer Education Center. The Taxpayer Education Center can be found halfway down the DRS homepage at portal.ct.gov/DRS. The Taxpayer Education Center was created through the lens of a Connecticut taxpayer, with the purpose of providing taxpayers with educational videos and resources. You can now select from a menu of options to get where you want to be much faster. We have a section for new business flyers, live webinar recordings, where in about a week's time, you will be able to find the recording of this webinar for your review. Under live webinar recordings, you can also review our 2 previous EITC webinars from January 23rd and February 27th. These each provide more detailed information like the tiebreaker rule and other frequently asked questions. Then on the menu, we have videos specific to navigating the DRS website and other tax tip videos. Videos will be added and updated often to reflect the most asked questions from taxpayers. The videos provide a quick and easy walkthrough of the topic presented. Today, you will also receive an email with a brief survey about this webinar. Please take a few minutes to fill out the survey because your feedback is appreciated and helpful to prepare for future webinars. Thank you. And now I will bring Marianne back in to join me for the Q&A portion of this webinar.
Hi,
Welcome
thank
back,
you, Kelly.
Marianne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Randy, thank you again for showing how easy it is to upload the documents for the request for the EITC documents, and also making sure that they have the correct address when they file their return to get any correspondence that would follow.
All right. Excellent information. All right, so let's get started. Why do I need to provide additional information if none of my personal information has changed from last year?
Well, information does change. You can have more income, less income. Your child could be 19 and we need to verify other information from them. So things do change from year to year on your tax returns. And if we are requesting you to provide the documents, then I would go through the list of what we're requiring, send that to us so we can review and get your credit out to you.
Awesome, thank you. Question 2, I was a part-year Connecticut resident for the 2024 taxable year. Can I claim the Connecticut EITC?
No, you would have to be part-year residents and non-residents are not eligible for the Connecticut EITC. You would have to be a full-year resident.
Sounds good. Question 3, how can I submit the requested EITC documents?
As Randy had demonstrated, it's simple to follow the instructions in the letter that was provided. Use your letter ID. The documents that are required would be listed. You upload them through the portal MyConnect at portalct.gov/DRS MyConnectCT. If you're not able or willing to upload them, you can always mail them to the address that's listed on the letter.
Okay, great. Question 4, how can I check on the status of the review of the documents that I provided to substantiate my EITC claim?
There's really no status update. The documents are received, so first in will get reviewed. We do send you a letter confirming that the documents that you provided, hopefully they're all of them, are here, and we send out a confirmation letter to let you know that what you sent us has been received. And it could take up to 90 days for that review process.
Okay, sounds good. Question 5, after submitting my documents, how long should it take to receive my refund?
Again, it could take up to 90 days. Currently, I think we're within 30 to 45 days of our review process. And after review, if everything is determined eligible for the credit, your refund would go out a few days after the review.
Great. I have been advised that DRS needs more information from me to substantiate my EITC claim. However, I did not receive a letter requesting such information. Can this letter be resent to me?
It can be resent, but that would be time consuming. You'd have to call into the department, would have to verify your address is updated, would have to send a request to the mail area to have this letter sent out to you. It will be a copy of the original letter. However, to expedite it, you can go through the My Connect system, go through the correspondence, the More tab, the correspondence, as Randy had showed. You'll view your letter, you'll have your letter ID and know what documents to provide us.
Great. So check out My Connect. Next question. Can I claim my child as a qualifying child even if he or she did not live with me for the entire year?
Yes, if your child lived with you over 6 months in the tax year, you can claim them. To verify this, you can provide a custody agreement, school verification, social services, medical records, to provide proof that the child lived with you at least the 6 months of the tax year.
Great. Question 8. My children are too young to attend school. How can I prove they lived with me?
If your children, let's see, if you haven't moved since you had the child or children, and the address on your birth certificate is the same as you're currently living at, that would be both relationship and residency for the child. That would be accepted. Otherwise, any documents that you can verify, medical records, social service documents, any health insurance documents that the child is on would also be documents that would be eligible to provide for verification.
Great. Very good information. Next, coming down the home stretch here. I live with my other family members and do not have utility bills in my name. How can I provide proof that I was a resident of Connecticut for the entire year?
Right, so you're going to have to come up with some documents that would verify that in order for us to determine your eligibility. Do you have a Connecticut ID or a driver's license? A valid statement from a business that has your address from December of the prior year and January of the year we're currently in for the 2024 tax year to verify full year residency. Like verifying full year residency is the first step in having you have filed the correct return. If you were a part year resident, you may not be able to verify you were a full year resident, and that will determine your eligibility for us.
All right. Would a bill from the gas or power company qualify as proof of residency?
Yes, both would qualify as proof of residency. They're both utility bills and we would accept those.
Okay. And last but not least, I was not able to print out an online utility bill in order to prove my Connecticut residency. Can I use a car insurance bill instead?
Sometimes car insurance bills are 6 months or a year, depending on when they were issued, and it may not qualify for verifying your residency in Connecticut for the full year. I would try to, use some other documents that we can utilize as residency. I do know you can contact the utilities and they would give you a printout of the year of your payments and your bills. A lot of our taxpayers say that it's fairly easy to do and they need it for other programs that they might be on.
Right, wonderful. And thank you very much, Mary Ann. And that concludes today's webinar on the Connecticut Earned Income Tax Credit. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you soon.